What's up? Hi, boys and girls and non-binary pals. Hi. Retention. I gotta retain you. Oh shit, you're here. Oh, I wasn't expecting company so soon. Really quick shout out to our sponsors, the Jonas Brothers, Myron, Goyle, Kringholm, Dwayne, O'Doyle, and by phone Gernson. Those are the Jonas Brothers. Not the famous ones, by the way. Just six uh, hollandaise men. I know hollandaise is a sauce, but do we also describe people from Holland that way? Six guys from the Netherlands. Uh, and their last name is Jonas. No relation to the famous trio of artists. Retention. Don't go, please. Come on, man. You just got here. Unless you saw my face and you're like, oh, it's the scourge of the fucking Western world. Then be gone. I don't care about you. I don't care about you. Retention. I don't know, man. Do you guys want to see me light something on fire? I could light this tapestry on fire. Is that gonna keep you here? Please don't go. Please stay. Oh! What's up, guys? Hi. Hello. Hello. Welcome to PodGis, episode 99. What was that? Osama bin practicing? A little bit. Not as much as I could, but I'm trying. Been talking on the phone with some people, been dabbling in a little bit of. Listen, a girl's gotta decompress, right? You can't blame me. I'm busy as shit. I'm busy as shit trying to win these gold chains, you know what I'm saying? Solid gold. And I'm working hard. Osama bin working, okay? And, you know, she's gotta unwind sometimes. And wouldn't you know it, Diablo 4 is out. So I've been gaming a little bit with my friends who also are into Diablo 4. So if you want to play with me, too bad. No, I don't know. Yeah, maybe join me, but like I don't want to I don't know. If you'll let me talk the whole time as an opportunity to voice train, I'll do it. Fine. But don't expect us to be best friends. Just gotta keep those walls strong. Gotta fortify so nobody gets in. Nobody gets in. I've been playing Diablo. I've been practicing a little bit here and there. Just gotta sound fake. Just gotta sound so fake and then just kind of fucking dial it back, you know what I mean? Forgot to start the timer. Naughty guess. Big news. I'll start out right away on the big news. I was gonna talk about the Jonas Brothers and Diablo. Fuck it. Those threads have been unwound. We've unraveled those threads. Hey, that's a callback to the last episode. If you saw last episode, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the frame rate. It's totally my bad. My fault. You know, every time you watch a pod, I told you last time before last, I think. I don't know what I'm doing technologically. Every episode is going to feature some kind of a technological bug in which I make some unknowing mistake. It could be happening right now. I'll find out when it's done because everything seems to be working all around. And then I upload and then I look at it later and it's like, "Oh, your file is in a JORB file." And people are like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just hit the fucking record button." And then fucking technology was like, "Do you want it in Jorb?" You know, we're not even gonna ask. Just put it in fucking Jorb file. And you're like, "What the fuck is Jorb?" And you look it up and it's some kind of obscure file they use in Botswana or something like that. And you're like, "Why did the camcorder go to that function?" And it's like, "You did something, Alval." And it's like, "No, I didn't. I did not. I didn't touch anything." I followed the instructions. And now it's recorded in some jorb file from Botswana that, when you fucking convert it to an MP4, it's, now it's the frame rate is, the frame rate is 15 frames per second, so it's weird. And you're like, why? And I'm like, don't ask me. Don't look at this bitch. I'm just out here doing my best. So anyway, sorry about the frame rate in the last one. I know that probably made it pretty tough to watch. Pretty tough to watch. And I apologize for that. But know that I'm doing my goddamn best. And that hey look, what was it? The third episode? The third video episode that we put out, which would be probably, what was it, 93? It was called Growing Pains for a reason. We make mistakes, we learn, we get better. And so hopefully you're watching this at a pleasing enough frame rate for the eye. And you say, wow, it's like, is this real life? You guys remember David at the dentist? If you aren't watching this and thinking, is this real life? Then I probably screwed up in some other way. And we'll fix it until you end up watching PodGis and the only thing on your mind is this real life? and then when I tell a joke that's so real and I come at the screen like this, it's gonna be so real that you do what David in the dentist did, where he goes, and like climbs out of his seat and does this guttural scream. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably too young. This was the dawn of the internet, I think. Maybe not that far back. Early internet, early YouTube. I think it was called David at the Dentist. And it's just a funny little video of a kid coming down off of whatever anesthesia he's on, and he's tripping balls in the car, and his parents were like, oh, because he had to get a tooth taken out or something like that. And he's like, is this real life? Where is it? I'm gonna look for it. David at the dentist. Yep, that's it. Oh man, and there's like one of these 2 years ago, they did this follow-up where it says, I accidentally became a meme, David after dentist. Oh, it's called David after dentist. But then they did this like, where are they now thing. Save to watch later. Save to watch later. Add it to the hours and days of YouTube videos that I add to the queue and say, I'll get around to that, while I'm eating toast in the morning. I'll have a delightful little viewing. How did I get here? How did I get here? You would think I just came from the dentist, the way I'm so fucking crazy brained. I'm wearing a very airy, baggy shirt. It's the baggiest. Call me fucking Dildo Baggins right here. Cause I'm just in a burlap sack, fucking paper bag princess, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's hot as a motherfucker. We got the windows open. The sun has now set, or the sunset is nigh. It's dusk. And so the air in here is cooling, but it's still hot as shit. And I didn't want to sweat in my pits like last time, so. Okay, big news. To the news. To the news, everyone. My name change is official. Sort of. I mean, shit, I just kind of stole my own thunder there. No, I went to Service Ontario, which, if you're not from Canada, it's like our DMV, I guess, / everything to do with government documents. It's just, Anyways, I've been to two different Service Ontarios trying to get this gender marker and birth name changed on my birth certificate. Got sent back for 2 different reasons. First time, wrong place, which, you know, I was given a list of places to go to, and lo and behold, one on the list was not the right one, which, all right, all right, all right. I'll take that one on the chin. I'll throw my hands up in the air. Like I just don't care. You know? Just gotta throw up your hands in the air like you just don't care sometimes. Okay? Got it? And then the second time, they're like, and so they're like, all right, first time I went, they said, wrong place, but here. Punk. And then they stamped a thing and they were like, you should be good to go. Go to this location. You should be good to go. I went to the second location, an hour one way, which means, you guessed it, an hour back. But when I got there, they said, oh, no. You need to fill out this booklet. Tunk. And they threw a booklet down into my face and said, oh, no. Get out of here and fill that out and come back. So I got to throw my hands up in the air and say, all right. Throw my hands up in the air like I just don't care. And then, you know, oh, I forgot to start the timer. But I know when I kind of want to finish. I have a date. A Diablo date. Let's be real. It's I'm going to play Diablo with my friends. I worked so hard today. I earned it. I worked so hard. PodGis. So, and the lady, though, you know, I take these things in stride because their job is pretty miserable. I totally understand. Their administrative job is pretty miserable. I mean, they can't help that there's so much red tape. It's not this one woman's agenda against me to make things inconvenient. Of course not. And she was a pleasant lady, so I was like, got it. We're all good. I'll get this shit done. Don't forget this face, okay? Because it's going to be fucking back. And it's going to have all the proper motherfucking documentation, all right? I'm going to have all the motherfucking proper documentation, and you're going to have no choice but to give it a stamp of approval, lick the envelope, and then send it right the fuck out. And then our business will be concluded. So you don't fucking forget this face, okay? Motherfucker. Fucking forget this face. And then, but I was really nice. And I laughed, and, you know, I make things nice for fucking customer service people. I'm so nice to them. Because times are tough, you know? Gotta treat everybody a little, make everybody's day just a little brighter. So anyways, our ride back, that was like a month ago. Because I hadn't had the time to like fucking plan this thing, and I needed a guarantor to prove that I've been living in Ontario for the past 12 months. I needed so much stuff. One of the questions was, what is your birthing physician's home address? And it's like, not only how the fuck would I know that, but how is that not invasive as shit? Who knows their doctor's home address? What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Isn't that like illegal? Did they slip that one in? You know? I just didn't get that one. So I came back and I told her, and I was like, hey, look, by the way, I don't know how I'm supposed to know this. And she was like, yeah, we get that all the time. Don't worry about it. Thumbs up to that. And there was a moment of nerves, but also, fun fact, you know, when I finally got around to like getting there, I spontaneously did it. You know what it felt like? I'll walk you through. Why don't I walk you through? Because it was so nice and magical. This was so momentous. I'm going to savor telling the fucking story, okay? So, retention, I don't give a fuck who I retain in this. But stick around for the happy ending, okay? How's that for retention? Just make sure you're hydrated. Okay, so the day had begun, and I had a few errands I wanted to run involving my bicyclette. I have to fix one of the tires because the valve is a foreign valve to pump, and I don't have the means to pump it. And so my bike isn't in summer shape, and I just had a bunch of I needed to return some cords that I ordered from Amazon that just don't fucking work. And so, don't you hate it when errands come up for you for things that should never have fucking happened? And I bought these cords that were supposed to work, And then they didn't. And it's like, great, thanks. I'm going to get my money back. But now you've just given me a chore. Really, in the end, you've cost me time. You know, even though I broke even, you've cost me time. And for that, I can never forgive you. You know? Not that that's worth anything to this company in China, that they're worried about my forgiveness, but whatever. So anyways. Where was I? Huh? You know, when I stop to ask where was I, that just delays things even more. Because I have a thought about how bad my memory is. And focus. Focus kiss. Oh, my butt is wet. I get so hot. I should sit on a towel. 1 second. Where is it? I need a towel. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. That's better. See, we no longer pause episodes because now I'm videotaping. It's just there's a lot of things happening right now. Anyways, so we go right through. Fuck it, we're doing it live. So anyways, I had all these chores, all these outdoor related chores to do, right? And then I had a bunch of long-term stuff, you know, like planning my tour in Europe and Montreal and maybe San Francisco and perhaps Ottawa and maybe Vancouver. All this, you know, and my work visa and all this stuff, and podcast related stuff. Alex, you're so bad at telling. Okay, focus. So I had all this stuff and it started raining and then I was like, oh, what a bum diggity, you know? And then I thought, you know what? And then I looked at myself in the mirror. I had a good look at myself and I said, I think I want to marry you today. You know? It was one of those moments you hear about a married couple that eloped, that they were just like, you know, no, babe, I like when you tell the story. All right. Well, you know, I was just having my scrambled eggs and my toast, and I was looking out the window, you know, and she was brushing her hair over there by the sink. And, you know, I just looked at the bright sun and I thought, you know, and then I looked over at her and I was like, hey, babe, let's get married today. And she was like, what? No, stop it. And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, babe. Fuck it. I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything. We're gonna do it anyways. Let's get married. And she was like, okay. Are you serious? He was like, yeah. I could call up Dougie and he could be a third party if we want. Fuck it. I want to marry you today. Stop. Okay. So that's what I did to myself in the mirror. Basically, it was a rainy day. I had all these chores and I was like, well, that's all ruined. So what am I going to do today? And I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready. I think I have the documents prepared. I tried booking an appointment at Service Ontario. The next availability was in like 4 weeks, in a fucking month. And I was like, I don't want to wait to marry you. You know? I'm done waiting. Let's get married now. And don't try and extrapolate any kind of weird metaphor about marrying myself by, changing my name and gender marker. But I had that moment, looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you know what? Today's the day. But I also had doubt that it would work. I was like, it's like if the married couple was like, I don't know if they'll let us, but fuck it, let's try. And that was the feeling I had. Looked at myself and I said, is today the day I do it? And I said, yeah, let's just go. Let's do it. Let's try it. For us. Let's do this for us and no one else. And so I creeped outside with my umbrella and it was raining and it was shitty. And then and I listened to music on the whole way and I closed my eyes and it was very contemplative. And I was reflecting on my life. And just not getting my hopes too high because I anticipated, I was like, there's going to be something. I know I missed something, even though I fucking triple checked all the documents. I was like, I signed everything. I think we're good. But they're if I get there and they're like, sorry, you have to find out your birthing physician's address. We're just not going to accept this. And then I have to go fucking hire a PI to I have to comb through the fucking library of Alandria or whatever that shit is called. I don't know. I have to go spelunking for personal information on the woman who helped give birth to me 35 fucking years ago. She's probably dead. I asked my ma. She said she's probably dead. And I don't doubt it. She's dead. Where's her address? I don't know. 6 feet underground? do 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 grave plots have addresses? 1455 Mount Pleasant Avenue, plot number 587B. How about that? She's in a tomb somewhere. Let's dig her up and ask where she lived when I was born 35 years ago. Oh. Anyways, so I get there and I get there and the office closes at 5 and I had a late start to the day and I got there at 4:15, 45 minutes until the window closed. Cuz even then that was part of my doubt. I was like, "Oh fuck, did I not time manage properly?" And holy shit, the commute is so goddamn long. And oh god, if I get there and I wait up until 5 and then they're about to call my number and they're like, "Whoop, sorry." And then they close the big metal doors, in my face as I'm like getting to the counter, and the bell goes gong. The end of work day here that we have in Canada. If you've seen Andor, there's a guy at the top of a bell tower and there's an anvil and he has 2 big metal hammers and he goes quang, 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 and that signals the end of workday for everyone in Canada, and it rings all across the land, and everyone shuts up shop, their metal things, and that's it. And whatever you have to do, sorry, you're shit out of luck. So I was worried that would happen, and so I get to Service Ontario, and the guy says, "What is your business? Do you have an appointment?" I say, "No, I don't have an appointment." And also, fun fact, the woman in front of me, also trans. Very tall. But we clocked each other and gave each other like the motorcyclists like sup, how motorcyclists always have this unspoken code where they're like, hey, I don't know, do a finger waggle down below by their knee. Anyways, she and I went, sup. And then she went, and then I went, and the guy was like, you should be okay for time. And I was like, oh dear, because the clock went a ticking as it does. Time progressed as it does here on our Earth, I guess, as I perceive it. The 4th dimension is time, of course, as you all know. This is such a terrible retelling of the story. I love milking a story out. I give no fucks. This is what happens when you give me your attention. I just ring every fucking... Anyway, so 4:40 rolls around. Gong, gong. The guy in the 4:40 bell tower starts banging his anvil because there's also another guy in another tower who bangs a gong at 4:40. That's the pre-end of day alert gong. That's the chime of it's almost time. So 4:40 rolls around, they call my number and I get up and it's the same lady from last time and she remembers me too. So we share a moment where I go, I'm back. Or I didn't even say that because, I recognized her, but I wondered if and of course she was like, it's you again. I saw you like a month ago. You came in, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm here. And fingers crossed, I think I got everything. And she was so sweet. She was like, I have a good feeling about this for you. And I was like, oh, I mean, kind of weird that a service worker would be like, there are no guarantees that we'll ever get anything done on this side of things. But like, I'm hopeful we can help you this one time. So she sorts through everything, asks a couple questions. I didn't miss anything. I think I got it. She charged my card for this bureaucratic fucking rickshaw ride all around town. And then was like, okay, everything's looking good. Handed me one of the forms back. She was like, that's your health card, and you do that later. Once this is all done, this is step one. You have to wait it out, get it, and then you can proceed with the other steps. And so, and I said, high five. And there was a glass in between us. And she went the high five through the glass, and she was so nice. And we just had such a nice little moment where she was like, you're done. You're good. Expected back in 6 weeks. And congratulations, she said. And I said, thank you. Thank you very much. And I put on my bag, and I think the high five really caused a scene because it's Service Ontario. So it's an otherwise miserable, oppressive, Kafka-esque setting. It's the atmosphere is very Kafka-esque. So how rare for somebody to be jubilant like I was, and the attention that I drew, not only, looking and sounding like I do, but the attention that I drew high-fiving a worker through the glass. I'm sure everybody behind me was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Cavorting with the enemy like such. What the fuck are you doing? I'm sure it got people mad because I turned around and some people were like, why I oughta. But also because they were probably waiting their turn and they weren't sure if they were going to beat the end of day gong, So I don't know. Nobody there is happy, is my point. And I was very happy. And so I finished up, put my bag on my shoulder, walked out of there with my head held so high, and then walked down. Thank God, usually there's like a lineup that stretches out into the hallway, but there wasn't. And I walked out into the hallway, and I had a moment where just my face, I could feel every fiber of my face stretching with happiness. I had a big shit-eating grin because I ate shit from this process, this bureaucratic rigmarole. And then I just celebrated in the elevator. And I did take some Instagram stories of the moment. I should have highlight reeled them. Fuck! They're gone forever, I think. No, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see if they're archived or something. Whew. But yeah. And then I walked down the street and I was texting some of my closest friends and family and letting them know that it's done, it's sent. And by the way, is my name like officially changed now, or is it official when I'm holding the thing in my hand? Or does the name change become official somewhere not to my knowledge out there when some Kafka-esque I'm just gonna keep saying it, when some Kafka-esque drone out there stamps a thing, and then my card gets printed out of the printer, and then they blow the dust off, printer dust. I don't know, ink. I don't know, when they wave it like this to dry the ink. Is that when it's official? When it pops out of the machine? And then I don't know about it? So, like, when's it official? Is it official when I announce it on Facebook? I feel like yesterday would have been official, So, without further ado, it took me 20 fucking minutes to get here, but I sure do hope you enjoyed the ride. Ding! Without further ado, hey everyone. My name is Ava. It's Ava. And, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. It happened. It's done. Mostly. I mean, it's not done. But the first official steps have been made. There's plenty of significance. I don't need to rationalize it any further than that. It's done. And my name is Ava. So it might take a while to change things over, And my stage name, I was thinking, I spent the day kind of thinking that over. My manager called me. I just got booked for a really cool gig that I'm going to tell you guys about eventually. that's happening at the end of August. And she said, so what's going to happen with your name? I know that you've officially changed it. What happens now? And to her, I said, I don't know. I never had any plans to change my stage name. It doesn't need to be the same. And like, people already know me one way, but like, when things like this change, you, who I am is an extension, like who I am on stage, who I am as a performer is certainly an extension of who I am in real life. And, you know, while stage names are not so uncommon, it's a thing. So many people have them. I don't think it would throw off my fan base so much to change it now. And if it does, fuck it. What kind of a flimsy grasp on fanhood did you have if my name change made me somehow unsearchable in your algorithm, or you just couldn't find me anymore? If you're not up on this shit, then you're dead weight. Wait, what was the Arnold quote? What did he say? You're loose change. Is it dead weight? Whatever. You're not dead weight. You're not dragging me down. You're just kind of. Do you care? Do you care? Really? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. So, my name is Ava. Nice to meet you. Finally. And so I had that moment when I left. I was about to go back into the subway for the 1 hour commute home. And I had a moment where I was like, you know, I'm so full of emotions right now. And I don't, what a shame it would be to sit down on a sweaty, stinky fucking subway car and put my headphones in and listen to music and not make eye contact with everyone and just repress it and just kind of sit on it for an hour before I get to unpack it when I get home. And so I found a little step somewhere and I sat in my thoughts and I reflected on my life and my journey and how far it's taken me to get here, and like just how I let myself feel the joy of it. Because the cynic in me always saw trans people when they like change their names officially and, you know, they film themselves and they're a blubbering mess. And I cringe at that. The cynic in me looks at that and is like, you know, it feels performative and not real, and kind of sad that you would take this intimate moment with yourself, that this cumulative this cumulative moment in your life, and just, I don't know, maybe people have find different ways of relating, and and it's a parasocial thing maybe to some of these people that like, I kind of understand that. I can understand that like one's followers and fans bear a certain relationship, a silhouette of a person. Everybody averages out to a silhouette of a supportive entity. So I get why you would want to like record that moment and share it with this figureless entity. And I kept catching myself like, you know, having this moment, just trying to stay in it, reflect on my life, use it to just create a memory. Knowing how bad my memory is, I wanted to sit in it. I wanted to look around. I wanted to just like, I wanted to really immortalize the feeling and the moment and remember it forever, and remember what I saw and what I smelled, and like just, you know, be present with all your senses and just be able to retell it vividly. I just wanted to live really and truly presently in that moment, you know? But I kept finding myself looking down at my phone and like so bubbling with it that I needed to share. So I understand the need to like go up and hi everyone, I'm feeling something, you know, just to have that validated. And I kept catching myself and I was like, put the fucking phone away, put it away, and just be here with yourself, which was very difficult, I'll admit. And so I learned another thing on the side, while I was celebrating this massive lifelong milestone. It came with a lesson in just how attached, just what an appendage this is, and what an addiction it is at the same time, just, not being able to really be able to tear myself away from it. Still having it, just that influence on me, always being there, always begging and pulling at my attention. So didn't make the moment any less significant, maybe a tiny bit. Yeah, it kind of made me sad that I kept getting so distracted. But like, fuck it, it's done. It's awesome. It's wicked. And now here I am telling the story to you guys. So anyways, that was a long way to go. But I hope I made it somewhat interesting, the Service Ontario portion, Let's pivot. I'm damp. Oh, so hot. Pineapple juice? Pineapple juice. Can anyone confirm if pineapple juice does make your cum taste good? Let me see. Talk about addicted to phones. Yeah, I don't care if the government knows that I'm looking this up. Hey, government, if you're spying on me on my phone, don't look at this one. I promise it's not bad. It's just embarrassing. That's all, government. Well, they're listening to my phone anyways. Okay, I'm kidding. I'll leave the conspiracies to Musa. Okay, what was I looking up? I'm gonna say okay, this will be easier if I can type with both hands. Does pineapple, I'm gonna say in fact. Does pineapple in fact make ones, I'm gonna say ones, this is too smart for Google, cum taste good? However, there are certain foods that are supposed to make semen taste sweeter, i.e. those high in fructose glucose. For example, pineapple, orange juice, kiwi. Foster said that in reality, who's this Foster person, huh? Foster said that in reality, eating these fruits is unlikely to make a difference to semen taste. Oh, myth busted by this Foster person. Now, we can't take it at face value. Also, this begs the question, hey, Foster, how do you know? Hey, Foster, how do you know that pineapple doesn't make cum taste good? That's another one of those cases where, like, the scientist that does that work, and comes out with the results and is like, hey, turns out pineapple doesn't make your cum taste good. Everyone just kind of, the record scratches, and all the other scientists are like, so is that where you've been for the past 3 months? Just guzzling cum? He's got beakers with like blind test, so he can't see. They're half behind a thing that says like control group, pineapple group, beer, Frank's Red Hot. This Foster, I mean, you could picture a guy or a girl. It's no funnier if it's a man, because, LGBT people exist. Who knows? It could be a cum crazy woman. It could be a brother and sister. Let's say the Foster gang, 2 Fosters, are just, okay, that's, this is gonna get banned off of YouTube, I think. Anyways, Foster, how do you know? Fuck, that reminds me of a bit that I tried doing a couple times. A rant. Oh, about like penis enlargement technology. About like penis growth pills and stuff like that. I think I gotta bring it back. Basically, the premise was, it's gotta be tough volunteering to be that scientist whose lifelong goal is to make dicks bigger, you know? Especially if it's a guy, then that your colleagues are going to be like at a party, all of you, like different scientists in different leading, research. One of them is going to be like, we got so close to finding a cure for pancreatic cancer. We're onto something here. We had a breakthrough, 2 years ago, and we've been pursuing it ever since. And I feel like, things are kind of narrowing down. It's just eluding us, but we're close. And then, penis guy pipes up and he's like, yeah. I measured my fully erect cock last week, and I think it grew about a 1/4 inch. Everyone goes, oh. And then looks down at their drink, at their pineapple juice. And then Foster and Co. come in and they're like, hey, how's the pineapple juice? Would you mind would you mind ejaculating in one of the test tubes in the bathroom? We need it for a study we're doing. Wow, that went all kinds of places, didn't it? I hope that's clippable. I don't know. I'm hunched over like a bridge troll. I gotta fucking work on my posture. Gotta work on my fucking posture, you know what I'm saying? Ugh. I'm sorry, guys. This is the second time I'm getting up. Second time I'm getting up in this pod. But I'm getting up to turn on that fan that's sitting right there behind the camera there, okay? So, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Retention. Retain yourselves. Hey, can you just, I don't know, do something with your hands. Retain yourself, okay? For just a second. Hurry, do it. Shit. Oh, hey, are you retained? Are you on retainer? Are you wearing a retainer? Did you guys know that story about me? When I got my braces out, they gave me a retainer to wear, and I never adapted to having it in my mouth. And it only took me one day. When I got my braces off, by the way, also, I thought I looked ugly. Isn't that weird? I had them in for 2 years, and I had them taken out, and my first reaction was, ew. I'd gotten so used to them that as soon as they were off, I was like, ugh. And I'll never forget just how weird it felt to have that extra space. They took up so much space in your mouth, and then to just have in front of your teeth all this room to stick your tongue. It was crazy, man. I was like, this is crazy, man. Can we go back in and can I get braces for a little while longer? So stupid. So insecure. And then they gave me one of those retainers with the wire and the skin colored, the flesh colored, plastic, I don't know, model of the roof of your mouth. You know what I'm talking about? The plate? I forget what it's called. Those kinds of retainers. And they gave me that one, and they said, wear it, bitch ass. They said, wear it for however long, all day long. I think immediately when you get your braces off, they need you to wear that shit all the time. But, and I remember that whole day I never got used to, the thing on the roof of my mouth. Because, even right now, hang on, let me swallow this cum elixir. And when I swallow, I put my tongue to the roof of my mouth, right? Try and swallow without doing that. You can't. You can't. And, well, at least I can't. Is that a thing that you learn about yourself? Are there two types of people in this world? People who swallow with their tongue on the roof of their mouth and people who don't? I don't know. But having that thing there, the plastic thing, I just couldn't swallow. Was that a thing for anyone else? It felt like such an oddity. And so I couldn't swallow. So what I did was I would go every 8 seconds. The spit would collect underneath in between the roof of my mouth and the plate thingy, and I would have to go to suck it, to hoover it out of that space into the back of my mouth. So I was doing that all day long, every 8 seconds. And so as soon as I got home, I was like, Mom, I can't do this. I can't do this for how long? I don't know. I can't do this. Is there an alternative? And she was like, yeah, that's driving me nuts. Let's figure it out. And so I got Invisalign instead, which I think are like probably way more expensive, but like way more comfortable. And no more, those Invisalign, they were way better. Invisalign team all the way. Invisalign team all the way. Team Invisalign. If you're fucking Team Invisalign, say yeah. Yeah! Oh man. Should I talk about this divisive issue? Oh, it's divisive. But we here at PodGis, we try and not shy away from these kinds of things. Patoo, punk. Spitting in a spittoon there on my front porch. Yep, storm's rolling in. Message from my editor. God. So very recently, oh boy, there is an influencer. There is an influencer out there whose name is Rosalind Montoya, or Rose Montoya. And she goes by she, they pronouns, and she is AMAB, assigned male at birth. She is a trans woman who also goes by they. I'll say. I think that's fair. And she's an influencer who seems, especially lately, to be very adamant about showing people her tits. I wouldn't say more than a lot of Instagram models out there, but kind of her crusade is a political one. She really wants it to be okay for her to show you her tits. She gets mad every time Instagram's like, hey, you can't show your tits. And she's like, this needs to stop. This needs to fucking stop. People need to see my nipples. She really, really wants you to see her nipples. So bad. And so that's really, oh man. And I mean, she does a lot of good, more than I'm fucking doing, a lot of good, activist work. She's an inspiration. She's an outspoken activist. Yes. A great, for some representation. But she really wants you to see her nipples so bad. Oh, so bad she wants you to see her nipples. And so the recent controversy, she got invited along with a whole bunch of prominent LGBT people to hang out on the White House front lawns and to celebrate. And it was like a Pride Month thing, and Joe Biden and Jill Biden were there, and like they gave speeches, and it was just like a party on the White House lawn, and just like a pro LGBT little fun party festival on the front lawn. And by her account, there were 2 trans guys on the front lawn, like right in front, and they took off their shirts and they were showing their scars, and they were like, hey, look, we exist. We're trans men. And her, being an influencer, saw an opportunity, and her being a person who really needs you to see her tits so bad. Oh, they're so nice, her nipples. If only you could see, then you'd change the law and say, well, if any other nipple in the world looks remotely like this one, then they must be readily available to everyone. Fuck. This is gonna get me so fucking in trouble. There are a lot of people who are all about free the nipple. I'm kind of making fun of the free the nipple crowd, and I'm sorry. But I'll get to my point eventually. Surely, 40 minutes from now. So just retain until then. But but yeah, she and the two trans men got banned from the White House after that. That's the big controversy. So, and she posted the video of her like hands over her tits. Of course, she posted it of her being like, "Hey, jiggy, 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 jiggy," and because fuck yeah, man. You're gonna get those views. You're gonna get those likes, bitch. Yeah, you spent a lot of money on them. And she really needs you to see her tits so bad. But anyways, she got banned, and so did the two trans men. So this is the thing. Naturally there was a great uproar. The great uproar of 2023 is how we'll remember it. Surely, when we look back on these days, do you remember the great uproar of 2023? Yes. Where were you? Where were you when Montoya bore her breasts? Oh, I was in grade 11 English class. I remember they closed the doors and locked them, and the teacher said, "Everyone, don't panic." Well, what was that? The second breast has been shown? I'm trying to do a 9/11 allegory sort of thing. Simile, metaphor, comparison. But anyways, so she got banned, and so did the other two guys. And we find ourselves, most people tend to find themselves on the divided line, of course, between who is in the right and who is in the wrong here. And and I've been like thinking about it, because my gut reaction, if you haven't already basically teased it out, was decorum. There's a time and a place, and free the nipple, all that. Fucking, if you really so badly want to liberate yourself from the cloth, then you know what? You ain't hurting anybody. I think. I don't know. But if there are kids on the front lawn of the White House, that's the other thing. There were kids there. And you just, you just got your cans out there. But yeah, decorum. It's a White House event. You are, like it or not, representing all of us. And your move is to be like, hey, fuck yeah, man, check out these bazongas. I didn't co-sign on that. And I know you're not like really literally representing every single one of us. We are all a diverse bunch. And of course, what Rose Montoya feels about some things, I maybe not necessarily feel about them. But, did you have to? We're all out here. This is the thing. We're all out here, especially in America. I mean, Canada, we got some simmering hate. We got some simmering problems. They're not as abundant as in the States. The all-out fucking legislative war happening on trans people. The culture war, which is a very real thing. But I think at the moment, there are a lot more pertinent causes to fight for than I really need people to see my nipples. And so to make it kind of about that, who knows, maybe it was just a fleeting moment of like, it's self-love. She loves herself very much. And good for her for that. But I feel my gut reaction was like, that's selfish and thoughtless, and just like the upper middle class me sees something in it like that and is like, you're a guest. Don't whip them things out, Don't whip them things out. You're a guest. Free the nipple any other time. Free the nipple on your own lawn. Isn't that the point? But you're a guest. So anyways, Montoya doubled down, and is saying how unfair it is, that it's, harmless, and you can't say that it's a trans misogynistic thing because they banned the two dudes too. So it's almost like the message is like, we don't discriminate. If you fucking disrespect the White House by whipping off your shirt and going, yeah, then get the fuck out of here. And I know, they had 4 years of some classless fucking oaf hanging around in there. And you could say, what's the difference? Yeah, well, they elected that classless oaf to fucking blunder around in there. And, that's just how that democracy works. But decorum also is a thing, And if given, I know it's not a choice, but on the list of priorities for civil rights, I just feel like free the nipple is a very comparatively superficial one. And to make that event about that it just hurts the momentum of the cause. And it hurts the legitimacy of the cause, in which we are all trying to be taken seriously and not seen as fucking mentally ill, first of all. It doesn't help that you're ignoring social mores and being like, tits out, baby. Is that the president? Tits out, baby. First of all, so there's that. And second of all, if we're fighting against being called fucking groomers, and you do this when there are children on the White House lawn at a family fucking event, you're really not helping. You're not helping. It's not. Now this is where I take pause, because I posted a brief opinion. The one I've just basically said, in a nutshell, in 140 characters or less. Basically outlining my reaction to it. And some people were like, that is, what was the word for it? Shit. What was the word for it? What was the word for it? Respectability politics, right? Yeah. So I'm going to read the definition. Respectability politics is a set of beliefs holding that conformity to prescribed mainstream standards of appearance and behavior will protect a person who is part of a marginalized group from prejudices and systemic injustices. So respectability politics is like, it's a set of beliefs that says if I behave and appear a certain way, it'll protect me from being, protect me and this marginalized group from being, from prejudice. It'll protect us from prejudice. If we behave a certain way, if we play up to their standards, then they'll leave us alone, kind of thing. And people were like, that never works. A lot of people said that never works. And, especially for the Black movement, I can see absolutely what value that has, You don't owe respectability to your systemic oppressors, is what a friend of mine said. And in the definition, it said something about taking down the slave master's house with his own tools or something like that. And, if you're taking down his house, who cares what you do it with? But also, I don't know if that's, I get it. Yeah, like I'm willing to, I'm trying to engage with it. But at the same time, the people who hate us indiscriminately, no matter what we do, the people who are going to be like, call us fucking groomers and pedophiles and whatever, they were going to do it regardless, which almost renders them obsolete as far as engaging goes. So, when these people can't be engaged with or reasoned with, then, okay, fine. They're just going to sit over there and they're going to fume. But in any kind of game where you're sort of, I hate calling it a game and I hate saying winning, but if you're trying to convey a certain humanity, that's kind of fundamental to your cause, is to convey humanity and to say, like, I deserve rights because I'm a human being. then waving your tits around really doesn't do you any favors. And respectability politics, maybe I'm wrong for believing that they need to be taken into consideration in a cause. I love the rebellious, like, get in their faces, throw fucking Stonewall, throw fucking rocks. Stop acquiescing. Yeah. But also be careful what ammunition you give these people. I think that's not unreasonable to say, that could have been an event where in a way the bigots fucking expose themselves when they show a picture of a fucking happy LGBT family with like 2 dads and a trans kid or something like that, and they're like, this is the scourge of humanity, and all you see are happy people living a healthy life. Then you're like, what the fuck is that guy's problem? They basically tell on themselves. But when you flash your titties in front of a child at the White House and in front of the president, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Then, a lot of people, even on the left, will be like, yeah, I really shouldn't have done that. Free the nipples some other time. Let's work on some more important stuff first. And, to Rose Montoya, I really hope someday that whoever you need to see your boobies gets to see them. Maybe curb your ambitions so that it's not everybody in the world wants to. Oh man, I kind of feel cruel and am I being a misogynist about this? That's why it would be helpful to have somebody like my friend Michael come and sit down and break it down for me. Good opportunity to have guests. One of these days I'm going to bring my buddy Michael. He's a writer and a producer and a script supervisor, right? Oh, he's going to kill me if I get that wrong. Good friend of mine who gives me an earful whenever something on PodGis, whenever misinformation is spread, whenever I don't quite convey a well-rounded opinion, he offers some good alternatives, and he's just a fucking delight to engage with. So I want to have him as a guest. I was thinking about guests. It would be cool. He's a smart guy, and I really I respect what he thinks. So I'm very curious. Mike, fucking hit me up. What do you think about this one? Oh man. Part of me is afraid I'm gonna upset people, of course, because I was always the peacemaker in my family, and like this role that's why I employ humor the way I do. I make peace. I'm just trying to keep the peace. So maybe that's why I also tend towards respectability politics. It's like, don't do that. You're rocking the fucking boat. Let's rock the boat in a conducive way. Let's rock it forward. The needle of progress is a slow and agonizing fucking slog. It's a push of a boulder. We're building a fucking pyramid, and we're just pushing, all of us collectively pushing this goddamn boulder. And I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for that, if it's like any sort of allusion to slavery. I'm not making that connection. I'm just saying we're moving this giant fucking monolith, this obelisk, together. And, Free the Nipple is running ahead past the obelisk and being like, I don't know. I ran out of room on that metaphor. It's getting ahead of the cause, man. We'll get to the nipple eventually. Let's just work on fucking healthcare for children. How about that? Before before you get to show everybody your boobies. That's my point. Respectability politics isn't altogether useless. Especially when discourse is very important, and, how we convey each other and how we come across to each other like it or not, it does fucking matter. PR, like it or not, does matter. It's a media war that we found ourselves in. And the things that we do to humiliate, embarrass, or ostracize ourselves don't serve the cause. But I'm open to second opinions. I say all this as a reaction, and yeah, I'd love to hear alternate perspectives. Fucking tweet at me, fucking Instagram message me, hit me up, let me know what you think, because I'm flexy on this. And I like to see the humanity in everybody, including the people who really so badly want you to see their nipples so bad. Oh, she wants you to see her nipples so bad. You know, that's the thing. I check in on some of, call me fucking, this isn't, maybe it's jealousy. Fuck it, I'll call it out. Maybe this is some jealousy that I have. I feel like it's maybe 1% in there. Because I do feel pretty secure in myself. I gotta say, I don't like a lot of my flaws, but I live with them. I talked about that at length last episode. But I think there's just a lot of accounts that I used to follow for inspiration, and it's just been this tragic dehumanization of all these trans women, mostly, who I looked up to, who have just settled for bimboifying themselves. And whereas they used to like be honest about their journey and describe and you know, speak eloquently about what they were going through, and you know, now they're just like eating a fucking meat sandwich at Arby's and being like, I love meat. And just pulling their shirt down and being like, ah. It's like, what happened to you? The attention, didn't it? The attention got to you. You were inspiring not only for your, you know, growth into a passable woman, sure. Of course, it's more popular to people love that success story, from a guy to a beautiful, you would never know. People love that shit. But somewhere along the way, it also became, I just want people to think I'm fucking sexy. And it just makes me a little bit sad. And it's a cautionary tale. I look at that and I'm like, first of all, I posted a fucking bikini photo of myself and it got the most likes in the, you know, besides my viral dancey jokey video. Thank God I have that to at least curb that thought. I was about to say it got the most likes in the history of anything I've ever posted, this bikini photo. And I understand the temptation to be like, well, you know, it's helping grow my account, and then the people who stick around for my comedy, they get that as a bonus. So why not? And I understand that. But, you know, I'm also so much more than that. And I don't want to pull focus. And it just seems like for a lot of these people, they've pulled the focus entirely away from their humanity. And they've just become a set of tits that just does, you know, pineapple cum jokes. But not silly, goofy ones like mine. It's like, do you drink pineapple? Because let's find out. I'm Dr. Foster. I want to be your Dr. Foster. See, the way I did it was still so much more clever. Fuck. I can't even, you know, just showing off your beehole and being like, trans rights are human rights. And you're like, is there a trans person behind that beehole that you're showing me? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I had to unfollow a couple of them. There was one that I actually liked, but she just, the captions are like, I'm finally who I want to be. I'm finally myself. And it's a zoom in of her tits. It's just this. It's not even, her face is nowhere in there. I'm finally who I want to be. And the picture is tits. If that doesn't fucking sum up someone's superficial journey, and don't feed it to me like it's some inspirational thing, when what you're really conveying is that the journey is all about, you know, having a fuckable set of tits. Having a set of bazongas that some salivating man in fucking East Asia wants to squeeze his dick in between, you know? Lube up some guy from France who wants to lube up his cock with coconut oil and slam it in between those titties. He doesn't care what you think. He doesn't care about, he's not reading the caption either. I can tell you that much. I'm finally me. And then it's a picture of her fucking bazongas. Congratulations. Congratulations, I guess. You're finally you. And you. You're finally you both. Good job. Oh, man. This kind of feels slut-shamey, all of this. So tell me if I'm being a slut-shamer. I don't want to be. But, you know, I want to believe that there are much more meaningful, substantial ways of representing yourself and representing us. And I don't feel represented when I see somebody be like, yeah, we're powerful. Now have a look at these nasty fucking babies. We're powerful, we're independent, and we deserve respect. Now hubba hubba on these mommy milkers, you know? Who am I supposed to look up to now? Anyways, we've hit my cutoff. I didn't talk about anything I had written. I mean, I wanted to talk about my name change, but that obviously dragged half an hour. Ooh. I've been working so hard, man. That fan was a game changer. I've been working so hard, and I promise I'm working on my voice. I know it's sustain is also a problem. Sustain is also a problem. And it's very difficult to if I even get it for a second, it's easy to do girl voice in quick exchanges. Hello. Hi. You can speak softly. It's just it's an action point. You go, hi, how's it going? It's still not good, but it's better than me consistently talking. Sustain is another problem in and of itself. And I'm going to keep working. I promise I'm going to keep working. Pitch as well needs to go up higher. I'm going to try not to sound like I'm straining. I'm going to relax. I'm going to breathe through it. I'm just going to keep practicing, baby. And hopefully, maybe I don't hear a difference. Maybe week by week, eventually we might. I'm hoping. You know? And then maybe check in a year from now, and maybe I'll sound inspirationally beautiful, like a full-blown fucking angel from the heavens. Like Mother Mary herself with her sweet angelic voice. And then I'm just gonna undermine all of it by being like, hey, tits out, baby. Tits out for the lads. Tits out for Harambe. I'm finally me. It's going to be called I'm Finally Me. And I'm just, you'll only get this podcast on OnlyFans. And I'm just going to sit in my bed with a vibrator in my bum. Just being like, hey, so what did I do this week? Let's say I sucked 45 cocks. Because that's funny. And my whole personality is that I'm a slut. The youth of today, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if you're the youth of today, get a fucking grip. No, you're the future, and I believe in you. I believe in all of us. No, that's not true. I believe in some of us. No, that's not true. I believe in a handful of us. I believe in some of us. And I hope you belong to that some. I hope I belong to that some. Because, I've spoken at length about self-belief. Anyways, eventually I'll get around to these notes. So many of these notes, are just, these are like month old month-old topics I've wanted to cover. And that's the beautiful thing about PodGis, is we never quite get there, do we? Maybe someday we will. And on that day, I'll have big old bad bazongas. And you guys, and we're going to retain. Retention is going to be so tops. We're going to have the best retention. You know what, in the end, maybe I'm wrong about everything. If it works, it works. And maybe I'm just missing a great set of bazongas. And once I have a great set of bazongas, then retention will no longer be a problem. So I hope, in closing, hi, my name is Ava. This is from Ava herself. Until I get big bad boy bazongas, please retain yourself. And you know what? Maybe someday when my tits are worthy of attention, hey, TNA, it works, baby. And if that helps move the fucking dial, move the needle of progress, then who am I to get in the way of that? So tits out for Harambe. And next time you see me, maybe I'll finally be myself. Just two giant tits with the microphone just wedged in between them. Anyways, hey, I feel very much myself. Bazongas or not. Mommy milkers or not. Fucking grapefruits or not. You know? Melons? No. We're talking melons. I got puffy little marshmallow cones. Not mushroom. I got puffy little marshmallow cones. And you know what? They ain't much, but they're mine. And only a very select few get to see the nipples. Oh, aren't I better than them? No. No slut shaming here. Hey, if you want to show off your nipples, free the nip. Just not in front of the president, maybe. Not in front of a bunch of kids just trying to have hot dogs on the White House lawn. Okay? That's been PodGis. I hope you've been retained. Thanks. That's it. Episode 99, the next one's 100. I just realized. We'll see you on the next episode, which is episode 100. Look at us go. That's awesome. Okay, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Enthusiasm. Maybe that'll help my voice. Wow. It helps when I go high like that. Okay, anyways, I'm going to go play Diablo with my friends. Have a good week. If you're a good person, if you're a bad person, get banned from the White House for unrelated reasons. Not calling Rose Montoya a bad person. Bye.